Like, are you kidding me? All right.
Well, Byron, I got the USFL job.
Nice.
I don't know what that means, but don't say anything yet. Hold on.
I'm looking over the paperwork.
We are live out of Miami, Fort Lauderdale, and Lancaster, Pennsylvania. And right now, we're even live from Ohio and Maine. So we're like all over the map here. We need somebody we need my man Ray. Where's Santiago? Tell me he's still Ray to come on, Ray, because Ray's is from over in the Bay Area in California. We cover almost the entire country, right?
Well, we could always get John.
Ohio's Midwest, kind of like, or Northwest, but at least in the mid. And then we got we got the tip of Maine. We got the whole like
Eastern Seaboard.
You know, the northern, the eastern part. We got central Jersey, Pennsylvania, and then we got
your head. That Perth Amway education is kicking in right now.
Spiraling.
My Perth Amway education was good. What do you think? I was in classes with your sister. You weren't in those classes.
Nah, because I was 3 years older than you. But go ahead.
Yeah, that's right. When you were in wood shop. Anyway. All right, so welcome to Jersey Boys Sports Chat live out of Byron, Fort Lauderdale, and Lancaster, Pennsylvania. We got our guests here from Ohio and from Maine, and that's what we were talking about. We need someone. Please, this is hosted by Byron Jones and me, Victor Rocho, presented to you by the Sportscast. Remember to subscribe on all our channels on YouTube. We have a Facebook channel. We have we're on Spotify, Stitcher. You could on our smart speakers, and don't forget you can go to the little purple thing. If you can see it here, a little purple thing podcast. Hit that, and I got Sova behind me, and I got to change that. You know, hold on a second, because I need my Jersey Boys going back on. All right, and we please don't forget and go to YouTube notifications and hit the notifications. Please subscribe to the podcast. You know, our listeners are growing and growing. Alex and Alex, geez, we got 2 Alexes on now. Okay, I'm gonna call Gisbert, and then Alex. Okay,
I can go by Quirk. I don't mind.
I'm Andre. Alex is the brother.
Oh, that's right. What am I talking about? Okay, man, I'm tired. Okay, Andre and Alex. So look, subscribe to all our channels, please, and help us out. Leave us a review, and please, Alex and Andre, share this out to people. Let them listen in. Let's get on the show. We've been growing, and we don't do a lot of promotions. We just purely do our show. We're enhancing our tags and all that, and I think we're going to do a better job coming up in the next year. But right now we've been growing just based on our show, and Santiago has been doing a really good job with the clips, and the clips are getting really good views. Our Eagles defense got a lot of views, Byron, us going on that. So it's pretty funny. And then I'm going to share with you some good news about me on a movie set. So we're going to talk a little bit about that. And so we're getting ready to go. So let's get going. It is Super Bowl weekend. Unfortunately, our Giants are not in there, but that's okay. We were very happy with the season. But we're represented by the NFC East with the Philadelphia, Kansas City Chiefs representing the AFC. And Mr. Byron Jones, how's it going over there in the up and down weather of Philadelphia or Pennsylvania, where you're at?
We're in a balmy 52 degrees, man. It was like a heat wave. I put some shorts on, and I went outside like that, man. It was great going out there.
I got a hoodie, and I'm in Fort Lauderdale.
And
that's only because it's only cold inside. Like our air conditioner is at like
you got soft, man. You can move to Florida. You soft as cotton candy, man. I don't even want to talk about it. Anyway, Alex, how cold is it in Maine? Are you anywhere near where it's been 100 and something negative degrees?
Thankfully, we're out of the deep freeze of last week. It's 38 currently, but yeah, it was like, I want to say it was like minus 20 on Friday night. It was bad. It was really cold. even for me. And
what do
I'm
you
not a
do
fan of the cold,
there?
but it's really
Like,
cold.
Like, what do you do there when it's minus 20? Like,
You
does
just
anyone
stay
like?
inside.
So what happens to the restaurants and stuff? And like,
Stay inside.
You just hope there's people who's willing to come out. I was gonna say it was probably one of the quietest nights in the old port, our bar district on Friday and Saturday. It was just like 2 consecutive days of like single digit or negative temperature. It was really cold, which I guess swept across most of the country last week. But yeah, no, a nice 40 something degree day, which is great for me. Love that.
It was cold by you too, also, Alex, right? I mean, Andre.
Yeah, it got cold. I mean, not -40, but no, it got to -8. It was just really the wind chill factor is what was killing us out here. As someone who has visited Bangor and Orono a few times, I could tell you, at least we don't have to go through the tunnels to go through different restaurants and crap like that.
The water off the Penobscot at
Yeah,
Orono was always brutal going to class.
Yeah, so I could sympathize. I'll tell you this: if they don't win, if they're not in the Sweet 16 in ice hockey for men's and women's every year, it's because their coaches suck. Because I swear, every year that I go over there, all you see all day is people on ice skates or people with ice skates or skating gear all the time. It
Been a
could
long
be
15
August.
years. Our current coach seems to be turning it around.
All right, well, now we had enough weather, so let's get into Super Bowl. We got too much time going on. I'm done with the cold.
I'll be on for the March Madness ice hockey segment.
It's 70 degrees. It is 70. It is a blistering 70-something degrees here in Fort Lauderdale, so I ain't worried about that. We had a lot to talk about. Byron throwing his little comments in the show yesterday. We had a special Super Bowl show. And as we're talking, you got Byron tweeting out stuff that he would never say on this show right now, which is I'm going to hold him to it. He had the nerve to talk about Kadarius Toney is going to be an X factor in the Kansas City Chiefs. And while Kadarius Toney was on the Giants, he just dissed him as a rapper, as a nothing. And now all of a sudden he goes to the Chiefs and you want to give him a little props. Man, I don't want that guy to
Don't
do
forget,
anything.
I said the other guy too, Sky Moore. Them two. That's what
I don't care.
Sky Moore and
Kadarius
Kadarius Toney.
one I heard. The only one I cared about was one guy, the rapper.
I'm telling you, he's either going to punt, they're going to do a fake play, something. He's going to be involved in something big in that game.
All right. Well, we'll see. We'll see if he's not practicing his rap lines.
Or he's not hurt. He's going to play in the biggest game of his life. Man, he'll be there. He'll be fine.
Well, especially with
look,
I think isn't Mecole Hardman out in the game as well?
Yeah, he's out. Yep.
So that moves Toney up.
Yep.
So what happens is that that trade worked out for him.
Oh yeah,
he's getting his second year and he's in the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Oh well.
And he still has done nothing. He didn't do it. He hasn't done anything for Kansas City.
He's going to play big, man, in the Super Bowl, man. He's going to play big under the lights because it's going to help his rap career, man. When he goes off, man, I'm telling you, man. What?
So all right. So let's get to the game itself. All right. So let's first start off, and then we're going to go here. I'm going to do a little bit different than last night's show. So right now, both Byron and I picked. I don't speak for Byron. I picked Philadelphia to win this game by at least 7, by 6 or 7. Byron, you picked Philadelphia to win by what?
I changed my mind. I'm going with Kansas City.
I see what I mean.
What changed?
God.
Because Victor went with Philadelphia, so I got to go opposite. So
whatever. Exactly.
Always the contrarian.
No. But on the show last week when we picked them, he picked.
What did I tell you? No, I didn't. Prove it.
Yeah,
we don't got enough money
for
the
Google Doc.
No.
Deny.
This one I'm proving. I'm pissed. I'm gonna prove this one.
You'll be all right. Get over it.
So Gisbert, who do you got?
I got Philly by 3.
All right.
I honestly think it's a toss up. I think what's gonna be the X factor is the fact that I think you and I had this conversation earlier. It's the running back. The usage of the running back is going to be the factor. The fact that I don't see that defensive line getting in that penetration. I really want to see how the linebackers are going to penetrate through those A and B gaps. I don't know how often they're going to be able to actually get through that offensive line. Jalen Hurts looks like a monster when he has all that freaking time back there. And, I honestly think it's equivalent to the offensive line he had at Alabama, which I tell everybody. Every quarterback looks amazing at Alabama because they got an NFL offensive line playing in college. I honestly think it's truly one of the best offensive lines we've seen put together in a 5-year stretch.
Are you trying to look for my thing, Victor?
Don't worry about me. Don't worry about me, Alex. We got Alex. Don't worry about me, Mr. 99 Reflect. Don't you worry about me. Do you think?
I will be actively cheering for Kansas City, but that being said, both in terms of my official pick and no free ads, the sports book in New Hampshire that I'll be traveling to on Saturday, I will be putting money down on Philly to win. I think Philly by 5. I think just ultimately the better defensive team. We don't know the health of Patrick Mahomes. He's probably a little better than he was against Cincinnati in the AFC Championship game, but we don't know how well that ankle still is. And I hate that they're that good, but Philly's just been that good. It's hard to go against them after how many times I've wanted to.
Okay. I think that okay, so you got everybody's got Philly except for Mr. Let me flip the script on whatever against Victor, right? Whatever Victor picks. Okay, so give me your keys. Why do you feel now that Kansas City's going to win when you not only picked Philadelphia, I got the points that you picked Philadelphia, and I'm going to prove it to you because now you really pissed me off.
You got receipts.
Excuse my language. And I got receipts. So go. What are the keys to victory? Go ahead.
Patrick Mahomes, when he got pushed out of bounds by that guy, he did turn the corner. That ankle didn't look like it was hurting too much when he turned the corner on that guy when he got pushed out of bounds. So I don't think the ankle is going to be a factor. We have the running back, Pacheco, the kid from Rutgers, a Rutgers kid, New Jersey guy. I think he's going to play a big, part in this game. And again, getting back to Kadarius Toney and Sky Moore are going to, either play with the special teams, something with punt, something with a kickoff, something is going to happen, or them running a gadget play with Kadarius Toney, who I think he was a quarterback. He can throw the ball because he did it for the Giants. He can, maybe one of those, to steal a touchdown. Defensively, they're going to play a lot better, against the Philadelphia Eagles line, because who do they have as the defensive coordinator? Spags. They got Spags over there. He's going to come up with some kind of game plan to slow down that running game.
Well, slow down the running game, but then what are they going to do about like Devonta Smith, AJ Brown?
They're going to cover them all. They're going to cover them like a blanket. I have spoken.
Well, that is why we play the game.
The Chiefs.
What are the keys?
The seven.
What are the keys to victory for Philadelphia?
The linebackers. They play the Tampa. In a lot of cases, they play a Tampa 2. So they give those two, they give the Mike and the Will a lot of free range and protecting against slot receivers going on the inside drag and the tight end going on the inside drag. But also they got to shoot in. I think that's the joker. If I think that's going to be the joker right there, whether or not they can spy or shoot and I think it's going to be a very interesting setup for those linebackers. If I say after the linebackers, it's going to be running back play. How often are they going to actually hand off the ball? to establish the run, because what they have proven is they don't need crazy amount of yards, but they will get the yards that they need just to go ahead and keep the drives going. I mean, if you look at it, they have some of the longest play drives in the NFL this season. I mean, they're known for 3 and 4 18 play drives, guys. I mean, that's mentally demoralizing, physically draining to be out there for 18 straight plays. I honestly think that's going to be the X factor there. Jalen Hurts is going to be Jalen Hurts. He plays mistake-free football. As long as he plays mistake-free football, he's going to be all right.
Okay, Alex.
Mine is going to be Philly's just going to have to do very similar to what Tampa Bay did in the Super Bowl 2 years ago. And really, I think that's just defense. The defense is going to have to win that championship. I mean, I think Philly's going to put up points. I don't know if they're going to put up like 34 a game, like in their 2 or 3 games they've done so far. But I think really it's going to come down to, can Philly give Pat Mahomes fits and just shut him down? If they shut him down like Tampa did, I don't see Philly losing this game at all. That's why I said, as much as I hate admitting it, that's why I think Philly's going to win. Their defense. Not all the stars that I listed when I said, what about A.J. Brown or Dallas Goedert or, oh God, I already forgot his name, Devonta Smith. Just defensively, they're very tough. I mean, they have like 8 sacks in the playoffs, which leads everyone. It's insane what they can do.
You're lucky, Byron, because we ended the show last week. We let Eric pick, and we said, no, we're going to pick next week. And I am telling you, I know you picked Philly.
No.
All right. So here's the deal. Here's my my thinking is one. I think Patrick Mahomes being injured, right, is a major factor, because he was still limping yet last week. I mean, he limped, last week, right? Even trying to throw, you could still see that thing is bothering him.
He wasn't 100%.
And he's the X factor on that, because when he can just run and do some stuff and so forth. And Spags, as much as I love Spags, he's like, his defense seems to come on hot and then get cold, or come on cold and then get hot. There's no dominant factor from me in there. I think Philadelphia has all the components. Their defense is in the top, in at least number 3 in almost every segment of the game, right? Which negates, which is where our conversation yesterday was. The conversation was, everybody there picked, yes, it's funny. Yesterday, everyone except for me picked Kansas City, and today everyone except Byron picked Philadelphia.
That's a sportscast special right there.
Yeah. So, but what happens is they were like, well, in most people's opinion, not just the gentleman yesterday, I don't want to just count them out, but people are thinking about experience as the coach, experience on the team, Patrick Mahomes, and that's an easy talk track. But let's not forget that, and Andre, you and I were talking about that today, that Philadelphia went with a second string quarterback against the GOAT and the best coach in the NFL history, and won the championship. Won the Super Bowl. Philadelphia beat the Patriots and won the Super Bowl.
Sorry, for some reason I was thinking back to 04 with McNabb.
That changes the game. The other thing is, when a defense is really good, I don't think like the inexperience bothers them as so much of being at the big game as much as it bothers offense, because offense has to remember so much more. You know a lot about offense, Andres, right? So, I mean, I would just think that, from an offensive side, I could see you having more inexperienced jitters and, jumping and all that. From a defensive side, you're just aggressive. And they got a great defense. I mean, their line is good. Their defensive line is good. The only thing I'm surprised is that they're 31st against the pass when it comes to running backs. That's the only thing. But they're number 3 in every other category. Points allowed, sacks, rush.
Yardage.
Byron, the following week, past week, you were talking about their offensive line. Their offensive line are pushing people back.
I'm a true Giant fan, man. There's no way I would pick the Philadelphia Eagles.
Oh, stop. You are not. First of all, time out. Don't respect anything he says when he says he's a true Giant fan. So let's make that crystal clear. Because Dallas Cowboy fans yelled at him because he had a Dallas Cowboy hat on. And he paid
just supporting
for
the division.
It was a gift. It was a gift. I have a picture of me back in the day when I was on the beach with a hat with a star on it, and that star was representing a company, not the Cowboys, and I refused to post it because it's going to be under the auspicious or they're going to think that it's a Dallas Cowboy hat. And
you just got to Photoshop the color to not make it look blue.
I'm going to Photoshop it. So, long story short is that I just think that the defense is too good. The offensive line, the weapons are strong, and I just don't think that I think Philadelphia's coming in. Everyone's just still not giving them the respect they deserve, and I think they're a tough team.
I think that's
and
what's helped them
last
all
one
year.
thing is the NFC East. When the NFC East plays good football, they're hard to beat in championship games. That's it. Go. Go ahead, Byron.
No, man, you keep beating me upside the head, man. I'm just saying I'm a true Giant fan. There's no way I would pick the Eagles to win the Super Bowl. I'm getting beat up. I'm surrounded by Philadelphia Eagles. These people around here are the most overconfident people I have ever seen in my life. That's all I've been hearing.
That is true. That is very true.
They're already playing, the parade.
They're greasing up the poles.
They got all around here, all around here. They're selling, their shirts and everything. They already got Super Bowl champions on the shirts already, all over the place around here. So,
Hey man, it's not our fault you went to Diamond Street.
I just don't. I don't look, guys. Think about it. The Kansas City Chiefs were one stupid defensive player's play, not the player stupid. His action on that penalty, hitting Mahomes out of bounds, from losing a fourth time to the Bengals.
How you know they're going to lose?
Sacked them for
How do you know they're going to lose?
Game.
How do you know
they were going to lose?
Was that?
How you know they're going to lose?
No, they were going to lose. It was over. They were winning. It was. They've lost to them 3 times. For them to let them come back in the game after sacking this kid, that game should have been over. They couldn't put him away. And when you're lost to a team that many times, and you got that on your brain that, man, we're not putting them away. They're coming. If that didn't get that defensive penalty, they wouldn't have scored that field goal.
Most likely not.
The ball would have been in Burrow's hands again.
Woulda, coulda, shoulda, did.
I don't care.
Just like if D Ford wasn't offside, Tom Brady doesn't win a 6th Super Bowl.
But to barely beat Cincinnati, I don't see how you're going to stack up coming against Philadelphia, who's looked good all season.
The Eagles
they haven't looked weak even when they had talent out.
The Eagles had one of the easiest schedules in the whole NFL. That's a fact.
The whole NFC East did too.
No. I ain't worried about that. I'm talking about the Eagles. The Eagles had one of just like everybody else in that division. They have the easiest schedule. They played the Giants first game, in the playoffs. We saw how that ended. Then they played, San Francisco, 49ers. Their quarterback got hurt. Who's to say, if Purdy didn't get hurt, maybe that would have been a different game. But they're not as invincible as everybody think they are. They're really not.
I don't disagree with that. That's why I only have Eagles by 5, even though I'm praising their defense and I think that they're going to shut down Mahomes. I think it's going to be closer.
I think they give up 4 yards, almost 4.5 yards a carry for running backs. They give up that's a lot. 4 yards.
No, they are giving up yards.
That's why Tony will be the MVP, because he's going to be just running the ball down their throat.
outside.
That's right.
Okay, Andres.
You guys are missing one major aspect: the depth of roster. Philadelphia has a better depth of roster right now, not only because they're healthy, but because all year long they've been plug and play. When one guy goes down, another guy goes in all year long. If you look at their offensive line has changed 6 times this season. They've had 6 different lineups this season with their offensive line as far as their starting offensive line setup. If you look at their defensive line setup, they've had 8 different roster change, starting lineup swaps throughout the season. If you don't even have to go that deep into seeing that they haven't had the same wide receiver setup 3 games in a row, all season, not the same 3 wide receivers lining up game in and game out. So the depth of roster that Philadelphia has right now, I think is their emancipation of Panama. For those who remember Little Giants, but actually it was the emancipation of Puerto Rico. No, I honestly think that that's the biggest dark horse in this whole thing, because at the end of the day, you got guys that they're not rookies anymore. They played a whole season. You got guys who stepped up all season long. I mean, I had this I can't remember who I had this conversation with, but I was like, when they were 5-0, oh well, they're 5-0. When they're 6-0, oh, they're 6-0. Well, they're 10-1. Oh, they're 10-1. Dude, they went well. They lined up and they kicked butt for 17 weeks. They didn't always get the outcome that they wanted, but they kicked butt for during this season. They even with a backup quarterback. I mean, heck, they for a while they were making Gardner Minshew look like a Superman, for a while there, and think about that. Think about that. Jalen Hurts didn't even play the whole season. Their starting quarterback, who set records this year, didn't even play a whole season. He was out, 5-6 games? I can't remember how many games he was out, but he was out for 5 or 6 games.
Yeah,
he was out for at least 4 weeks. I mean, you can't tell me that this is not unique, that they're not ready for plug and play. I'll tell you what, though, if Gardner Minshew throws a touchdown in this game, everybody in the state of Washington is gonna party like they won the Super Bowl. Because he is the folk hero. I forgot the fact
he didn't play against like Dallas, and they almost beat the Cowboys in Jerry World on I think it was Christmas.
Yep.
I completely forgot about that game.
And remember this: Gardner Minshew threw for 300 yards against Jerry's World.
Overrated Cowboys.
Yeah.
Hey, listen, it's America's team. We always have to kind of overvalue it,
Just like our GOP. Our GDP.
Hey, I don't know what keeps coming on that, but I got to show you guys something. Listen. I want to see a good Super Bowl game. That's the bottom line, right?
Pretty much, yeah. That's really what I'm cheering for.
Everybody's got to agree that I don't want to blow out Super Bowl #1. But
what are you talking about? You're not excited for Rihanna? My girl Rihanna.
Yeah.
That is going to be fantastic. I agree with that.
You should have heard Santiago try to pronounce her name last night. That was so funny. I don't want to see it. So I just think that without a Patrick Mahomes at 100%, that changes the game, the dynamics of the game. He's that much of a game changer, and I'm just not impressed with. I was impressed with Cincinnati. I mean, with Kansas City, when Patrick Mahomes was full tilt, but without him full tilt and watching them play against Cincinnati just didn't look enough for me to say that they're going to beat. And it has nothing to do with, listen to me, Byron, you can say whatever you want about. I'm a Giant fan. I'm not. Listen, I will always root for NFC East except when it's Dallas. That's it.
I don't disagree with that actually. Like, yeah, I never will cheer for. I mean, I'm not saying I would cheer for Philly, but they wouldn't be like the least I were to cheer for representing my division. I agree with that.
That's this deal. I mean, if it's and I will only root for them if particularly if they're playing well, right? Because I like Andy Reid and I like Patrick Mahomes, but again, you know, Philly's been there to the Super Bowl already, right? Sirianni's a good coach, and I just think that when and I go back to what I said, I want to see what you guys think. We're all, you know, the game. Byron, you said it before, and I know you're going to debate it anyways because you're going to stick to your thing, and I'll respect you for that. But I don't respect you because I know inside you're just doing it to egg it on. That's it. But at the end of the day, the NFC East is always big boy football. They always sign big linemen, big defensive lines, big linebackers. You know, they're just it's a big boy conference. It's not a pretty boy offensive explosion type of conference, right? And you know, my claim to fame is that when they're good, they're like the SEC of NFL, right? They're tough. They have to pay each other, you know, 2 times each. That's 6 games against big guys all the time. It makes the NFC dangerous when they're in the playoffs. It just does. Look at, I mean, I don't know. I would love to know what the NFC East's record is when they make it to the Super Bowl. That would be an interesting stat. Because right now, the last 3 times the NFC East was in the Super Bowl, they're 3-0.
Pretty sure you could look it up if you had a computer.
I do, but I wanted somebody to talk and go. Go ahead, Byron.
Well,
so I mean,
no. The only reason I'm a root for Philadelphia, kind of, is Jalen Hurts. That you have 2 African American quarterbacks that do things the right way. You got Patrick Mahomes and you have Jalen Hurts. You know, they really haven't brought up the fact that, you know, with Jalen Hurts, you know, his dad was a coach, and for some reason he just always seemed to say the right thing. You know, you've never heard of this guy getting in trouble with anything. You know, when he lost his position down there in Alabama, you know, he didn't do what most, you know, people, you know, young kids would do, was bash everybody upside the head. You know, what he did, you know, he patted his teammate on the back and he went to Oklahoma and, you know, he was successful there. And, you know, and with him, it's just he's gotten better, you know, every year, you know, from his day from Alabama to Oklahoma to his first year with Philly, second year, third year, he's gotten better every year. And then with Patrick Mahomes, you never hear anything bad about this guy. Even, you know, when he, you know, came out of, you know, Texas Tech, nothing bad. You know, his dad was a professional, you know, baseball player. And I guess, you know, having, a professional athlete, you know, in your family, basically, you know, you're going to know the ins and outs as far as, you know, doing the right thing, you know, not doing this, not getting in any trouble. And then, you know, the big contract that he got, that $450 million, the way it's spread out over the 10 years, you know, Kansas City is always going to be able to get players in because his money is spread out all over. But then when Jalen Hurts gets paid, which he's going to get paid, you know, after, you know, this, he might be $50 million. He might $50 million, you know, guy. But yeah, I'm a root for him. The fact that, you know, I like him as a player, but, you know, if they win, it's great. And Patrick wins is great, but, you know, I just enjoy the fact that there's 2 African American, you know, quarterbacks, you know, playing in this game.
That is awesome.
Can I put an exclamation on that? Here's one thing that I want to bring up. We're talking about 2 African American males who graduated from their college institutions, have yet to become a problem. They don't have baby mama dramas.
That we know of.
That we know. Well, so far, no.
Well, we know for sure Patrick Mahomes does.
That's a good point.
But we, as like I said, so far so good. They've been good role models, and I think it's important for us to acknowledge that it's great for so many eyeballs looking at good Black male role models especially in a time where black role models are always being shot down.
But wait a second. Also in the quarterback position,
in the most prestigious position in the NFL. Yes,
I would say in sports. Forget the NFL.
Am I frozen to you guys?
Yes,
You
are.
are.
A little frozen. Oh, now you're completely frozen. But at the end of the day, I think I'm sorry, Victor, the most prestigious position in all of sports, it's going to be a weird one for some of you, is the goalkeeper for for your national team in soccer. That is the most. Hey, man, sorry.
Wait a second. Okay,
Matt Turner.
I think that's the most prestigious. I will stand by my decision. That is the most prestigious position in all of sports.
I would say.
Okay, I just
soccer
muted
would be
him
forward.
as the host. So I want you to know that, right? Do not talk soccer while I'm talking Super Bowl ever on my show again. Ever,
I do, by the way, have your NFC East Super Bowl stat, by the way.
So talk soccer on my show when we have the Super Bowl in the same mouth. Number one. Number two, it wasn't the most prestigious in sports. It is the fact that it's the prestigious in the NFL. It is the fact that they're African-American quarterbacks. It is the fact that they one time stated that African-American quarterbacks couldn't make it as quarterbacks. There's 50 million things, right? So that's the only reason I bring that up, right? Not only that,
it's very important.
And they're great, and they're great role models. Everything you said was on the money. Graduating college. I mean, that's what I want to see. That's what they should be talking about. That's what it should be, And then, a lot of, I don't know, Byron, I don't know how you feel, because you're the only one on this show that we can't talk as African Americans, but I like when I hear an African American that is at that level, that has that the charisma, has all the accolades, has everything that Andre just said, and they feel like, I can't wait till it's just I'm the quarterback. I'm not designated as ever African American or not. I mean, and so, but it is what it is, and I'm just saying to you that I think it's a great thing. It's a great thing to be happening, and I think, and they're playing great football, and they're not the Michael Vicks or the Lamar Jacksons either. They're not the, I'm a black quarterback and I'm just a runner. These guys are all around quarterbacks. Go ahead, Byron.
I'm glad, like in this Super Bowl, they're not talking about, they're finding, in the past, his brother was locked up, and he was in prison, and this, and the mother was selling crack, and all this crazy stuff. And I'm glad this is the first Super Bowl that I can remember that they didn't.
They can't.
But they have in the past where they focus on this, and they brought this up during this time, and this is, they should be able to speak more about the Jalen Hurts and the Patrick Mahomes, instead of bringing up all the negative stuff. People don't want to hear all that negativity for 2 weeks. His brother's doing 30 years in prison, for X, Y, and Z. His mother, ran off and left him, as a kid.
Yeah, I hate that.
Like
that's that meme
that
they have on usually during the NFL draft, where it's like, when the producers of ESPN and NFL Network find out the draft pick had a normal childhood, they're like, dang it, like there's nothing to talk about. It's like, can't we just talk about what he did on the field or whatever? It doesn't have to be everything about his background. If it is, that's really great and it's unique to their story. But God, there's only so many tragic stories out there.
And it's not like that. It's like, I don't know. I just, it shouldn't be about trying to find dirt on any of them, right? Let them. These are still. They're still young. As much money that they make, as much at the level they are, as much as the stardom they have, guys. Patrick Mahomes is 26, 27 years old. He's only 27 years old.
You got a whole life.
Hurts 24, 25. They're still kids.
And I mean, if you want to say do that kind of like building some sort of backstory to kind of build sort of an underdog, as Byron said, for the Jalen Hurts. And Jalen Hurts thing goes a lot deeper. he replaced Tua in the SEC championship, if I'm not mistaken, but then got benched in the national championship. So it was like he kind of had a little bit of both of having to start over again. He went to quarterback U at Oklahoma, found himself, became a number one, or not a number one, but like a top draft pick, I believe.
Second round.
And look at him now. Like, in many ways, he didn't have the struggle like other athletes may. Just, I mean, even just being an NFL quarterback, that's a struggle. There's only 32 jobs. That in itself, I think, is a struggle, not just what happened behind the scenes or growing up. I think just making it to the NFL is hard enough.
There's more than 32 jobs, right?
Well, yeah. Starting jobs is what I mean.
Byron, who is the guy that had he's been on 13 teams?
Oh, Josh Johnson.
Josh Johnson.
Been on 35 teams.
We've seen him in the XFL next week.
I don't know, but man, the guy still made $7 million a year. It's like that's the greatest position to be in, like a second string quarterback. I mean, there's guys I don't even look at Geno Smith. I didn't even know he was still in the league.
He's getting ready to get paid.
He get made to the Pro Bowl.
And getting ready to get a big contract.
No, I'm sorry, guys.
Yeah.
I think the best quarterback position in all of the NFL is the quarterback who has to warm up the wide receivers. Every NFL team has a quarterback who was somewhere throwing to the wide receivers because they don't use jugs machines all day long. So they go ahead and their job is to throw 150 passes to that wide receiver core. And if you ask me,
he doesn't get paid as much as the second string quarterback.
My man, they get paid better than they would flipping burgers. That's all I'm saying.
Exactly.
There's no doubt. I'm just saying. Anyhow, I don't want to get further, but I think it's exciting. I think there's a lot of good stories there. It's nice to see. It's interesting to see a lot of these hookups from college to the pros between the quarterbacks and the receivers. It's like, they're showing that not only they were producing in college together, they're producing in the pro level together. It's going to be, and I'm also rooting for Philadelphia besides just for everything I said before. Also, Alec, Andre and my nephew is a Philadelphia fan. And he's 12 years old. A little shout out to Jake Gisbert. So I'll be with him this Sunday watching the Super Bowl, making sure he's.
I will only be happy for my godfather and no one else if Philly wins this game. And your nephew.
I'm gonna be happy when Philly wins this game to hear Byron next Thursday on how crazy the Philadelphia fans all around him are going. His entire in-law family are Philadelphia fans.
Wait a minute. I work, I do Meals on Wheels during the week, but at a senior center, right? I picture walking the door. I run my mouth constantly with the giant stuff on all the time.
No.
So, I'd be killing them. So I get
wait a second. You have giant gear?
Yeah, I got plenty of stuff.
I never see it on them.
Exactly.
I never see it on them.
Well, anyway, so I walk in the senior center, and they're waiting for me. They're laying for me. The Eagles, the fly Eagles. Now, mind these people are 70, 80, 90 years old.
Oh, that's awesome.
Oh, it was not, man. It was killing me, man.
Come on, you're giving them juice, Byron. They only got how many years left? We're talking about the 26, 27-year-olds. They got what? Maybe, God bless them.
But do you think I want to walk in on a Monday morning and get beat upside the head with the Eagle stuff? Man, they'd be killing me.
Beat upside the head by a 7, 8-year-old.
Yeah.
If they don't break their hips celebrating,
Say I'm soft.
No. And then my mother-in-law does the same thing. She called me when the Eagles win. She calls me on the phone. Hey, you see that game? The Eagles won. Yeah.
Well, you converted her daughter.
She's a Johnny fan. She don't know anything about
That's
football.
right.
You converted your daughter.
She saw the light,
What do you expect her to do? Hey, listen, I expect the Eagles to run, to throw. I think it's gonna be a good game. I think Spags is gonna have to come up with something. If there's a key, it goes back to what I said before. The only weakness in the Philadelphia's defense is their defense against what do you call it, Andre or Byron? I don't even know what to call it, but they're 30. What I heard is 31st against covering the running backs when they're receivers. Like, how would you say that? I mean, I don't know if I'm even saying.
So the technical term is when the technical term is running back receiving yards. Okay. The problem is
31st against running back and receiving yards. That's okay. That's
okay.
Exactly.
That's the technical term. The problem is with that stat is, was it a broken up play, or was it a check down, or was it an audible, or is it an actual play? And that's the part that some people just don't understand, that that's a stat that it could come back and bite you in the butt, because it's really a reactionary stat. Linemen, when they see the running back and he's in pass pro, they say blow him up and try to kill the man who's in your way, to kill the man with the ball. He don't got the ball, so move him out of your way. But if all of a sudden there's a shuffle pass, or it's a draw or whatnot, or he goes out on a bubble route.
A draw is not really a pass, though, right?
Depends. If it went forward, If it went forward, it falls under a pass as a reception.
Wait a second. You mean if they
shuffle it and it went more than 1.1 yards?
Shuffle.
Okay. Yeah, but if you drop back and then you hand it to him, the running back is in front of you, that's still a run, no?
In most cases, yes. But if you notice, there's that new shotgun draw where they go ahead and they're there and they're just pitching it off to the side.
Oh, but even a pitch is a pass?
If the ball moves forward more than 1.1 yards, it's considered a reception. And like I said,
that I would understand.
And that's the problem. That's why I say that's a reactionary stat.
And also, it can't be that impressive because they're so high. And also, how many pass plays do you really have for running backs? I mean,
at the end of the day, it's your check down. It's your check down.
The screen
pass. Blow up. It's your screen pass. It's your bubble route. It's your last resort. You don't want the running back getting blown up waiting for the ball. You want the running back to be the guy plowing people.
And look, and Sirianni, you got to give him credit. He's done a good job with that team.
Hey, Mount Union guy. He's a Mount Union guy.
I hate his arrogance.
What do you mean Mount Union?
He knows how to coach a team.
Like Division III Mount Union? The Purple Raiders?
Yes, sir. Which is down the street from my house.
No way.
Yes, sir. He has.
Byron, that team won Division III championships 10 in a row.
Yeah, something crazy.
So
they were now somebody else is the new powerhouse. I don't know who it is, but there's now another one that's winning 3.
No, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, there's somebody else that's
national
won 3.
Championship game. They have made it to the national
times.
championship game 28 times in 42 years.
Damn.
Okay, the national championship game. They've been to the national semifinal game 50 times in 64 years.
There's a new one in town now that's won it 3 times in a row.
No, they've won it 2 times in a row. We have a new champion in D3 this year. There's a whole new champion.
Central.
Yeah, it's a new champion.
North Central.
Right. How many times they won it?
2 of the last 3.
See, there's the new one. And then who won before that?
Mary Hardin
Baylor out of Texas. Who they're talking about moving up. Mary Hardin Baylor's moving up to Division II with that whole conference. Yeah.
And who won? What about before that?
You're talking about Wisconsin White. You're thinking of Wisconsin Whitewater, which is where Lance Leopold was at.
So that's what I'm saying. There was a time that no way there was even a 5-year gap that Mount Union wasn't in it.
No, there was a bunch of years in a row.
Yeah, as far as the national championship game.
When was the last time Mount Union was in the national championship?
This year.
They were in the national championship game this year. They've been in the semifinal, I think, the last 5 of the last 6 years.
If they're back in it this year, that means they're going to go for another run, I bet.
Oh, dude, you don't understand. They actually have to tell kids, you're not.
Byron, why didn't you get me to go there?
Oh,
Byron, why didn't you help me to go there?
I was too busy worried about. I was too busy doing me.
Yeah, that's right. You were already going to the pros. I mean, I had no help. I should have been at University of Maine. Anyways, gentlemen. But
I don't know if you had to. I don't know if you had it to be a D1 guy, man. I don't know.
Who, me?
Yeah, I don't know if you were a D1 guy.
No, but at that time, University of Maine was 1AA, whatever you call it.
They still are. It's just now called FCS.
Yeah,
that's where I was headed to.
Gotcha.
And I was good enough to play there, and they would have bulked me. They would have when you play at the higher levels, they help you become better.
I agree. I agree.
They're gonna take. I had the size, the speed, and had everything. So, but it is what it is. But I'm excited. So all right, so go. So now that we got there, what is your favorite food, Super Bowl food? Byron, I think yours is like some beef jerky or jerk chicken.
Jerk chicken, man. Jerk some hot jerk chicken. Mango.
See, I got it right. I may have said it wrong.
No.
I said it. I knew it.
I make my own mango jerk chicken.
I know. I remember.
Yeah, man, that stuff is kicking.
And it's spicy.
Very spicy. Blow your brains out spicy.
Who's the one that was on? Was it one of your sisters that didn't like it really, really hot? Or they did?
Sonia likes her, both of them do, but Sonia's more the hot one. And my niece eats it like this. I didn't put ghost peppers and all kind of stuff. Carolina Reaper in there, and she just eats it like nothing. Just this is not really that hot, Uncle Byron.
And you eat it like that? You don't have no problem with that?
No, I'll make it, but I won't eat it.
That's what I thought. I knew it. You didn't like the spicy. I see. Alex, Andre, what's yours?
I call it the Costco trifecta. I buy the Costco. All three items come from Costco. So I buy smoked pulled pork from Costco, and I do pulled pork nachos. I buy the chicken drumsticks from Costco, and I make half garlic, roasted garlic, and the other half lemon pepper wet. And then I buy brats, and I make some I make some brats from Costco. And then for dessert, you can't go wrong with a Costco apple pie.
Oh my God, man.
A la mode.
Hell yeah.
Okay, Alex.
Oh, yeah.
Mine would be, I used to have it when I went over to this friend's house for the Super Bowl, buffalo chicken dip. They made it in the crock pot. It was always very good every time I went over there for the game. So sad I won't be there at their place we're hosting this year.
I have a couple, but I used to make them. But one is my wife makes a cheeseburger like ring.
Oh, and is it like the crescent ring is like
the
outer
like
layer?
the crescent bread ring? It's like crazy.
I've had it.
It's
awesome.
crazy.
I've had it. It's awesome.
I mean, it's a cheeseburger crazy crescent ring, like through the roof, crazy, right? Like you can eat the whole thing, and
I've only had it once.
Feel bad.
It was memorable.
Feel bad. And then my other one is when I make it, which I haven't made in a long time, is when I make my own sauce, or Italians call it gravy. I make my own sauce with spicy and sweet sausage on Publix bread or French bread with onions and tomatoes. I actually make that. It's sloppy, and you're supposed to eat it that way, and it's supposed to drip all over you, but you have a lot of napkins. But I eat that, and that's hearty, it's hot, and it lasts for days because I usually cook the sauce for 2 days, but I don't have the time. I haven't made that in a long time. So those are my favorite food. I will tell you where I'm at. To again, another shout out to the Gisbert family. Andre's dad is a avid smoker, meaning like the not a smoker like smoking, but smoker.
Yeah,
what do you
barrel
call it?
smoker.
Yeah,
Barrel
he's
smoker.
got so many. I thought they were refrigerators or something. I thought they were speakers. He's got 2 of them. They're huge.
Yeah.
And he makes it. It's funny because I'm not a big smoker guy, but the way he makes it, it doesn't come out like with that smoky taste for me. It comes
Oh, no,
out it falls off the bone and this and that, but
He
for
does
some reason
two
it doesn't
ways.
have the. I don't like the smoky taste. I don't know. Do you guys like the smoke?
You're talking about for his ribs? Are you
Yeah.
talking about for his ribs or for his
Yeah.
for his brisket? So for his ribs, he cheats. He puts it in a pressure cooker.
Why you gotta dog out your dad, man?
Oh, I
Why-
love
why
no.
you
Hold
gotta-
on.
Why you gotta say he cheats, man? Come
Because
on,
he's
don't
not-
do that to my
Because
man.
he's not like
That's
me.
my
He's
man.
got hey, I love my dad. I know I love my dad.
I
But when
know
it comes to
I
cooking,
know you love your
when
dad.
it comes to cooking, I gotta bust his chops because half the time he cheats. He puts it in the pressure cooker for 20 minutes, and he doesn't have to put it in the smoker all damn day. He doesn't.
I'm gonna tell you. Wait a second. My dad does the same thing with ribs. He boils them first. The Latin guys do that. They don't want to burn them. They just want the grease out of it. So it's like they boil the ribs, get the grease out of it, then they put them on the grill or they put them on the smoker. So you're right.
Yeah.
They do that, but they come out good, but they fall right off. They're
fine. They're fine.
It's good.
They're fine. But you're right. It's not the heavy smoke taste. He's not about.
I don't like that smoke taste. Do you like the smoke taste, Byron?
Yeah, I got 2 smokers, man. I'm good. I got
You
I got the big. I have the big green egg, and I have the wood pellet one. The wood pellet was the best one I ever broke. All you do is put it out there, set it, and see it.
I think that's what his dad has, right?
No, my dad has a 2 electric smokers, old style, where you put actually the wood chips, you soak them in water overnight, and then you go ahead and you got the electric burner and you got the smoke effect going on. He does it old school style, like if it's the 1980s, because that's how he was taught and that's how he likes it. Oh no, I'm serious. I tried.
Oh no, I believe you.
I tried buying him the $500 wood pellet smoker like mine. And he goes, Andre, it looks great. It's just too complicated for me. And I go, what's so complicated about it, man? I could run this thing from church.
Yep.
No. I'm telling you, I'm at church half of the time. And everybody's like, why is he always on his phone? I'm showing him. I'm showing temperatures of my brisket.
Yep.
What do you mean? You have it's electronic?
So I
have one of those like thermo or whatever.
Yeah, well, no, I have it. I got 2 probes. I got the probe that comes on the actual Pit Boss smoker that is into the actual protein. In this case, we're talking about a brisket. So I'll go ahead and I'll start my brisket at 6 a.m. and put it in there. And I'll just put the probe in that comes with the Pit Boss. But I also have another probe just to double check and make sure everything's right, because it's there's about a 5 to 6 degree difference. And the last thing you want is raw meat. Or if I'm doing pulled pork, especially, I got to make sure I put the 2 probes. But long story short, I could go ahead and on my phone while I'm at church, I could raise or lower the temperatures. And as you know, living up north, you live in Maine, Byron.
So that's what I'm saying. It's digital.
I could adjust the temperature.
Yeah,
I could adjust the temperatures because it's linked to the Wi-Fi, and that's how
that's what I was asking.
Yeah,
that was a long explanation. I was just asking is
it's a great ad without saying what kind of probe he uses.
Well, believe it or not, I bought a cheap one on Amazon for like $30. I don't know the brand, but it works fine. I really, I'll take a picture for you. No, I'm talking about the probe that connects to your Wi-Fi.
So we're about to wrap this up and getting ready for the Super Bowl.
But the NFC is 13. NFC East is 13-8 in the Super Bowl, by the way.
What's that?
The NFC East is 13-8 in the Super Bowl.
Can you tell me?
Can
you tell me?
The NFC or the NFC East?
NFC East.
Is 13-8, which is a winning record.
In the
but that's in all.
And they have the most wins of any conference.
I believe that is correct. Yeah, because there's somewhere correct. I think they're the only division where everyone's won at least once. I think.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
now with
Philly,
the divisions, how
when
small
Philly
they are,
went,
yes.
with Philly winning, that was when when Philly won their first Super Bowl. That's when made them every division, every team is won. But they have
Which was
the
amazing that
most
they had the
Super
most without
Bowl.
Philly.
They have the most without Philly, and they have the most with Philly, and they have a winning record. I mean, they're tough when they're in the Super Bowl. And the times the two losses that they have was when when the Giants lost with who is the quarterback?
When they lost to the Ravens, man, they
Oh,
got
Terry
smashed.
Collins.
Are you talking about Hofstadter?
No,
Nah,
Hostetler
Kerry
won the
Collins.
Super Bowl.
That was
Kerry
Jim
Collins.
Fossil. That was what
Kerry
you're thinking of. Forgetting all the names.
Kerry Collins and Jim Fossil was one of them,
They
right?
got
Who else?
smashed.
I think that was the only Giants Super Bowl loss, right?
Yeah.
No, I thought there was one more.
They
no?
have They have two Super Bowl losses.
And then I think Dallas lost to
A whole bunch of them.
to the Steelers.
Steelers a couple times.
Yeah, the
The
Steelers
Baltimore
a couple
Colts
times.
won.
Yeah, so I mean that's it. But the NFC East is probably the winningest conference in the Super Bowls and has a winning record in the Super Bowl. I mean, they're like I said, they're tough when they're in it. They're just tough. I mean, I said it before. When the NFC East is good, their record doesn't matter.
As of late, we send our best. So Philly and New York. No
Hey,
one else.
I got a wild
so-
card question for you guys. Here's a wild card question for you. What's the over-under that David Snyder is still the owner of the Washington football team by the start of next football season? What's the over-under on that?
I don't know. What do you mean? How do I say over under? But I say he's not going to be the owner.
I don't
Would that
think
be
it's going to
under?
be this year, but I would say I would venture to next off season. I just don't. I feel like there'd be more smoke if he was about to be like removed as the owner of the. What are they now? The Commanders.
Well,
I
they don't
think
wanna mess up.
he's gonna snitch on everybody first. He's gonna snitch.
That too.
Remember, this offseason is when the court case is going on.
That's a fair point.
The John Gruden lawsuit starts in May. That's
Okay,
when fireworks.
that makes it interesting. Okay.
Hold
on. Is the over under have to be by week 1 of the regular season? Because I'm going to venture to say he wouldn't be gone by week 1, but I would say week 1 of 24. Sure.
Do you think that John Gruden, like what he's accused of, do you really think that was his character? Because everything indicated to me that wasn't his character.
I think it was his character when he thought no one was looking.
Then that's his character, right? If your character is the person you are when you think no one's seeing you.
And it's not also to say that
your character, the character is not your behavior when you know people are watching. Your character is when people are not watching. So if that's true, then he like that today. Then he pulled the wool over my eyes, because just the way he talked to his quarterbacks when he had those shows and stuff like that. I don't see people being. I guess I'm naive to be so. If he felt in the manner that he was demeaning, and that's the person he was, man, he pulled the wool over my eyes, because man, I don't. One, I'm fortunate enough. Byron and I come from a town that we didn't really know that until you came out of our town.
I found out in Oklahoma.
I found out at Uppsala, 45 minutes away. You had to go hours. I went 45 minutes in the same state to find it.
Right? I found out.
And
gentlemen, can I defend my friend here?
Which one?
John Gruden.
John
Gruden gave me John Gruden. Yes, I still have him. I still have him on cell phone. I'm going to tell you this: the man gave me a job when I needed one. He let me work with him when he was a part of the Fired Football Coaches Association in Tampa.
You're not black.
All I'm saying, but he treated my wife with the most absolute respect.
Okay.
I will tell you.
By the way, his wife is African American. Just to say that they don't. You got to give him the perspective, right?
I'll put it to you this way: as someone who's been around enough scouts, the way scouts are paid to evaluate players is very demeaning, is very demoralizing to the untrained ear. I could tell you that my relationship with John and Jay was very special. And I'm gonna end it with, I know his heart of hearts. He's a good person. And I think excerpts that were in private being put out in public, the way that in a public platform, the way they did, so it could be a hit job, he deserves every penny that is coming to him.
That I don't disagree with either, that I think he was trying to be used as a bit of a distraction by what was going on elsewhere in, say, Washington. I don't disagree with that.
Byron?
No comment.
All right, so now I just want to give a good shout out for everybody to a good friend of mine from Perth Amboy, New Jersey. I want to shout out to my buddy Tony Foz. He used to own, his family owned Capri Pizza. Byron, remember Capri Pizza?
I was talking about that place today. I was just talking about that pizza.
It's Italian family owning Capri Pizza. His name is Tony Foz. His brother's Mikey Foz. They are both have been cast as actors in a series that is coming out on Memorial Weekend called Capo Power to Rise to the Power. Yeah, Power to Rise, right? I think so. Hold on a second. Now I messed.
Oh, man, get it right. Get it right.
But I want you guys to hold on a second. I'll tell you right now. And they got the soundtrack is awesome too. It's by Rise to Power. Capo, Rise to Power. It's coming out on Memorial Weekend. Jimmy Barbarese, who is one of the star actors. He is from Long Island. He lives in Tampa. Tony Foz and Mikey Foz are starring in it. They're both from Perth Amboy. So Capo, Rise to Power. There's the good theme song is by G Fella. Excellent theme song. And I want to share something with you guys, if you don't mind. Let's see. Can you see my screen? What's up? I was fortunate enough. They put me on. I became an extra in the series in hopefully one show. That's me, and that's Tony Foz. That is Tony Foz. He's the boss. I was his soldier, protecting him as a soldier.
You don't have your finger on the trigger. You got your finger on the trigger, do you?
He's got the gun.
I'm talking about on the trigger. All the way. No, where you stand on the other side. Which it looks like your finger's not on the trigger, is it?
It is. Doesn't matter. You
still, dude.
Yeah, we could tell he don't know how to handle a gun.
Yeah, I could tell.
Yeah. What are you talking about? I don't know that gun. You crazy? I got my guns. You shoot rifles, dude. I handle handguns. Trust me. When I was put in that role, the second something happened, I was pulling. What? Anyways, so anyhow, that's Tony Foz.
I ain't admitting to nothing.
Boy, the ATF can hear what they want. I'm in a gun-friendly state. They can say, I don't care what they want.
So am I. But you know what? I don't know what this administration trying to do.
What are they gonna do? They ain't gonna do nothing to me.
So what streaming service are you gonna be on?
So that's here. And then this is the writer. This is his movie. This is Jimmy Barbarese. He is the star of Capo, Rise to Power. Do me a favor, please look out at it. We're going to see it in the link. He's going to put it in the link.
Man, they had the best.
Tiago Capri Pizza made the best. The show was written well. And your boy, Jersey Boy Sports Talk. I mean, I'm an extra in one scene, dude. I represent it. So, you know.
Does that qualify you for a SAG card?
No.
Does that qualify you for a SAG card?
No, but I played a good part, man. I look like a man. I look like a hit man. I just want to give them a shout out. By the way, they're Jet fans, so they're gonna come on our show. We'll do a little plug for them. They're Jet fans, so you know we like to beat up on Jet fans. I got a couple of shows there. the actress, her name is Nicole Kerr. She owns a franchise, a couple franchise of like B12 and CoQ10, but injectables. Byron, you know how you take the pills and stuff, whatever. You know, if you take
No, I don't know.
CoQ10,
What is
not
that?
you, but I mean, CoQ10's for the. I take it for the heart, for men, and B12. They do injectables. They have a franchise here throughout Florida. I also did a little segment, European segment, and she liked as the segment because I wanted to make it sports related first and talk about Jersey sports. And I go, well, what team do you like? And she goes, Ohio State. And I'm like, and then the Jimmy Barbrese is a Bear fan. The other two are Jet fans. She likes Ohio State, and I forgot the other team that she had mentioned. I think maybe Steelers or somebody. But we talked about the show about how we always talk about on the show that Ohio State always has quarterbacks that can't make it in the NFL. So that's the segment we came in to make it. It's the bottom line, right? I mean, either they get transferred to a school that they make into the NFL, but if they come out of Ohio State into the NFL, they don't seem to do too well. But anyhow, please look out for Koppel, Rise to Power. I don't have no idea if I'm going to be in it. I'm not, but I'm pretty sure there's going to be a scene I'm in it because I'm actually protecting the family and doing some certain stuff. So it's going to be hard, but I
have a feeling your pant leg will have an IMDb. They'll show your pant leg. That's what it is.
Hey, listen, as long as I get a credit, I'm happy.
You're just going to have like a screenshot.
But this is really my buddy, Tony Foz and Mikey Foz from Perth Amboy. Byron, tell me their pizza was really good, no?
Right. On Madison Avenue. Yeah, it was. I think Madison Avenue.
Man, yes, it was. That's where the church that was off. Yeah.
That pizza was delicious.
There was no joke. So look, I'm gonna end it here. So we finished shooting, whatever, and then there happens to be a Sicilian pizza place, a nice joint across the street, and they go, we're gonna eat. So we get in the car, and Tony Foz goes to me, goes, "Hey Vic, so how's the pizza there?" I go, "One, I haven't been there, but dude, how does the guy who made the best pizza in our town, or at least one of the best pizzas, because Scorantino's was good, how do I answer that? Like, the guy who makes the pizza, how do I tell you if it's good pizza or not? You're the guy. Does that make sense, guys? Like, you heard Byron tell you how good the pizza was. How am I going to tell you how good this pizza was? There is no way I can measure that up, right? And it's in Florida. How good the pizza was very good, by the way. Okay. But it wasn't New Jersey style or New York style pizza. You understand? It's a totally different type of pizza. They have that like that Anthony Coldstone, that fire type pizza. Very good, but it's still not complete pizza. Like
it's a gimmick
for me. Yeah, for me to test two things that I always tell people, in my opinion, if you want to know if pizza is good, first get a cheese only slice of pizza. Because if you get all these other toppings on it and stuff, you're not going to know how good that pizza really is. And the second thing is, you want to know how good a burger is. If you like cheese or you don't like cheese, get it just a cheeseburger with nothing on it or a burger with nothing on it. That's how you know that burger is good. Is if you put all the toppings on it, it may still taste good, but the burger may not be that good. It may not be seasoned. That's just my opinion. I don't know how you guys feel about that, but test the slice of cheese.
Preach.
At first, I thought the concept of
plain.
I thought the cheese slice test was initially silly, but it does really make sense that how good's the pizza without anything on it, essentially.
Yeah, because the toppings smother it, right? It's easy to enjoy the toppings, and the pizza itself is not good pizza. You know what I mean? So, but anyhow, we're going to wrap up this show. Don't forget, every Thursday at what time, Byron?
7, 8
Central, 7 Central. There you go.
Did you mess up on purpose? He said the wrong time, Byron.
No, hold on.
Every week
depends on the time zone. If
time zone,
Chicago,
no, but he's never messed up. He has never messed up. I know that would slip because he's never messed up. He does.
I was too busy, the cheese, the chop.
He's like 7. I'm like 7. What are you talking about? They're already messed up, and it's the same link, Andre. So I don't know how you could ask me for the link. I
I'll
didn't even know
tell you
Alex
why.
was coming on, and Alex got the link. So I
I'll
don't know
explain
what
to
the
you
heck
why.
is wrong with you.
I'll explain to you why. My iPad had to get reset so I could put on the new security settings because starting next week, I will be having, I'll be doing some consultant work for a new employer.
Oh, who's the new employer? Not football related.
It is football related, baby.
Didn't you just say something in the
That's
beginning
awesome.
that you started with somebody?
Yes.
So who is it again? Tell us again.
I'll be on the staffs for the USFL here in Canton, Ohio.
That is awesome.
awesome,
King.
Are you the
King.
analytics guy so we can make fun of?
Yes, I am.
No. So are you gonna be allowed to come on our show?
Yes.
Sure, that's not a
So
conflict of interest.
We're gonna find an analytics guy, and I'm gonna now watch the USFL. Tell them they got a fan now because of you.
Yeah.
But
well,
I'm
so
going
I'm
to
be
rip
helping
you
out.
apart. Byron, we're going to watch the USFL. We're going to watch his team. And now we got a guy that we can call out on analytics.
So basically,
Alex,
I'm going to
you
be.
too. You hear me? So we can, because normally the LA guys are the guys hiding. They're not talking to the other guys. So we want to find out what the real deal on the analytics is. All right, we're really excited for you. I want some paraphernalia, by the way.
Well, I first gotta find out what the heck is the whole situation. I mean, we're still staffing. It went from, hey, you're one of the three.
Hey, I'm available, man. If you need some extra help, then
I know you don't want to do it out here, man. You went.
I don't want to do it out there, but send me the film. I'll do film cut up. I'll do whatever. You know me. I love doing all that stuff.
Film cut up.
Anyway, don't forget Jersey Boy Sports Talk every Thursday, 8 p.m. Right, Byron? Same channel, same time. 8 p.m. You got the right fingers. Was that 9? That's 9.
That's 9, bro.
4 and 4. Okay.
There you go.
Oh my
That's
God.
the per fanboy. Per fanboy way to count.
Oh my God! So
New Jersey education, man.
Don't subscribe.
Right.
Don't forget to subscribe to our channels. Don't forget to promote and look up, Capo Power to Rides, G Fella, great song. Please support us. Anybody from Manboy listening out there, I know we have a lot of listeners from Jersey. They're shooting out. Hey, your boy mate is in it in one, at least hopefully in one scene. Give them credits. It's an independent film. They're going to have a couple series. It's going to be exciting. It's a Long Island. You'll get the clip from the producer. Let him sing. It's about a mob family in Italian, but it's got a twist to it. It's really good. Anybody that does something that puts independent on them, I give them credit. Guys, thank you so much. And God bless your families and everyone. And looking forward to a great Super Bowl. And I want everybody at least to come out of there safe and sound and throw a blessing to everybody out there, to your families. Thank you, guys. You have a good night and a great show. Thanks for joining us. Congratulations, Andres, Alex. Stay warm. Byron, I love you and the Jones family. Nothing but love. Peace, prosperity. God bless. Good night.
Right.